silverware, silverware and trophies. I think that anything short of that is not a success. There are no shortcuts. As much as we would love to say that we'll be competing for the top trophies tomorrow, we know that's not the case, and we know that we have to get to work on that. And that's a daily approach to the little things from the top of the staff, myself, on down. It's going to be a lot of hard work, and to understand the mentality that Edu is trying to bring back to us from his invincible days. Not everybody might be ready for that type of work that lies ahead, and so we're going to be talking, communicating, and having honest dialogue about how we're going to go about our process to achieve those ultimate goals of winning that silverware that we know we need.
We're right in the middle of a transfer window, of course. The fans are hoping for signings. What would you say to them?
I would say that, be excited. I think that there's a few things that I know that our group is working on, and a few things we hopefully have on the doorstep. Nothing's ever a done deal until it's a done deal, obviously. But we know we have key areas we want to address in our squad, both now and help us in the future. And I think that our entire football operations staff has a great grasp on that, and I've encouraged them to be as aggressive as possible. Our ambitions are silverware, silverware and trophies. I think that anything short of that is not a success.
The fellas we've just been talking to Martin, he's on a lot of highs, and we've run in the Champions League and obviously some big wins this season. There must be a lot of pride that you can take from that, but also a lot of motivation for more next season.
We had a dream. It was to be here today or in a week's time and bring big trophies to you guys. Unfortunately, we haven't been able to do it for many circumstances. But make sure that chasing a dream doesn't get blurry and you don't see what these players, this staff, and this football club is doing. And make sure that we chase the dream with enthusiasm and positivity to work on it.
What's good enough?
What's it like for you when you hear our supporters give you that incredible support on nights like that?
Like I said before, we have to start to create our own history here in this stadium. We certainly have started this season. There's much more to come. We have to do it all together. It's not going to be easy. But this group of players, I'm telling you, they have the hunger, they have the quality, they have the talent, and we're going to make it happen.
So this Sunday in the Premier League this season, like we know you have your full focus on next season, Mikel, but how much are you looking forward to working in the summer so that we can come back in August raising our levels again?
Yeah, we need to reset first, we need to finish winning at Southampton and then go on holidays. But before we do that, please, because I know what these players have been through, this season. Any other club in this position will finish in a position that we can't even dream of. So listen to the players, say thank you to the staff, and thank you to all of you for your support.
But don't worry, even with the unprecedented injuries, our most sternest and loyal fans do not accept second place.
Second again, and you bet I felt it. Champ semi-finals, PSG, and we melted. Marino 9 to paper up the cracks. But now we've got Havertz back. It's summer again, I want to see some investment. So nothing can stop us, even ref and corruption. I reckon it might be our turn to win a major trophy, 'cause I can't take second no more. Win a trophy, Arsenal.
They're so loyal, they even want Mikel Arteta's babies.
But we've got Super Mikel Arteta. Tell me, how do I have his babies?
We are exactly what we do!
Roberto Di Matteo, mate.
Lee, Arteta out.
And also not forget the title race that we was in. Don't worry, we're on an upward trajectory. Don't worry, though. At least we've got the most intelligent Arsenal fan base going. I mean, surely there is no arguing that. Is there, different knock?
Yes, we're at it.
Okay. What team did Arsene Wenger join Arsenal from?
Monaco.
No. Who was Mikel Arteta's first signing as Arsenal manager?
Cedric Suarez.
No. Who scored the winner for Arsenal v Chelsea in the 2017 FA Cup final?
Aaron Ramsey.
Name the Arsenal midfield legend that was signed from AC Milan in '95.
Petit.
No, you're having a nightmare. Arsenal have had Arsenal have had 5 shared sponsors in their history. Name 4 of them.
JVC, Fly Emirates, JVC. Pass.
Dennis Bergkamp and Ian Wright scored a combined total of how many Arsenal goals? That's a hard one, that. 275, 305 or 335?
335.
No. Arsenal failed to defeat which 2 sides in the Premier League during 03-04 Invincible season?
United and Liverpool.
United and Portsmouth. Who scored the last goal at Highbury?
Henry.
Yes. Which Arsenal midfielder was known as the Romford Pele?
Ray Parlour.
How many Arsenal fans, what was Per Mertesacker's nickname?
BFG.
Yeah. Which Chilean international scored 80 goals for Arsenal?
Sanchez.
Tony Adams scored the 4th goal of the final home game of the 98 title-winning season against who?
Spurs.
You don't remember the Tony Adams goal?
I was 2.
Oh. Arsenal were the first team to win both the League Cup and FA Cup in the same season. Who did they beat in that final?
You don't repeat the question, sorry.
I've started, so
He needs it. I can't hear it. He needs it.
Arsenal were the first team to win both the League Cup and FA Cup in the same season. Which side did they beat in both finals? Are you winding me up like this?
If I answer it, can I take a point off him? Sheffield Wednesday.
Yes.
I was born in 97, I don't know half of these.
It was Everton as well.
I was born in 03.
Yeah.
And Wenger was
5.
Wenger was a Japanese
5,
team.
Paul.
There's Grand Passate.
Nah, they were tough. The one. Them were tough too.
Paul.
Rocher and you're buzzing there, aren't you?
The stand-up fan base we've ever seen.
Second again.
Wrong
Former
one.
Premier League referee David Coote spotted delivering packages for courier firm Every. What? Leave the geezer alone. The bloke made a mistake. Granted, a pretty bad one. It cost him his job. He took the hit and he's out the game. But instead of sulking or hiding, he's cracking on with life. Getting up early, grafting like everyone else, doing what he has to do to look after himself and put food on the table for his family. And that ends up in the papers, as if it's scandalous. Leave the geezer alone. Seriously, we're all human. We've all made mistakes. Like I said, he owned it. He moved on. Now let him live his life.
Just let him live his life. Leave the geezer alone. This is the fan base we deal with. How are you all doing there? I know a little bit of a prolonged intro than most likely used to. But what can we do? We just thought, do you know what? It's Friday. It ain't the call-in show yet. And do you know what? Considering I had a little laugh there, I might even do it again a little bit later on. But how are you all doing in the chat? Why not have a little bit of laugh? It's Friday. The sun's out. The kids are out there. They ain't pissing me off. The missus out there too. Big up to every single one of you. Well, to my sweetie Madupe, big up to you. Caught alive. And I'm very glad I caught you as well, my dear. Thank you very much. Mr. Waffle, big up. Vic Lafayette in the building. Come on, man. Come on. With the ranking, I'm assuming is that maybe in that purple thing in the chat. They asked me if I wanted to have it on the thing, I don't know, as a trial or whatever. And I said yes. Yeah, I don't know. I tuned into a nightmare. Yes, you did. Mwah. Big up to you, Marie. How are you doing, my girl? Hope everything's good with you, of course. It's me, Everest. Big up, man. Come on. Let's run through the chat. Gianni, hopefully you're about later for the call-in. Big up to you, my friend. Yeah, come on, mums. Come on, mums. Don't be running me down like that already in the chat. Big up, Mum Spaghetti, man. See always. Of course, we got Waffle in the building. Leave him alone, man. Come on. Joseph, big up to you, brother. A big supporter of all the channels, man. Big up to you, brother, for your kind words. We've got Ben Taylor in the building. How are you doing, brother? We got BX Schooner, Geezer. Everyone else is having a little chin wag. Come on, yeah, that's it. That's it. We're just having a little laugh, aren't we? Static's here. Big up to you, Static. What a geezer of a mod. What a geezer of a mod. Come on, my girl. DG2, always in the chat. Big up, brother. We got Gavin here. We got Shepo, brother. How you doing, man? I see you wrote to me on Instagram. I checked my DMs. They get filtered out. I wasn't ignoring you. I've only just seen them. I will respond in due course. We've got Vincenzo in the building. Come on, man. Big up to every single person. Let's start, yeah. We want to run in with a midfield, yeah. Big up to Luke Starkiller. What a geezer. What a geezer. Guess what happened, yeah, on this day today, man? I don't usually do things like this, but it nicely fits the narrative of the midfield at Arsenal Football Club, yeah. On this day today, in 2005, madness. The shirt's right up there. Also signed Alex Sleb, man. And I'll tell you what an underrated geezer. Fridge Freezer, leave Alex Sleb alone. He made a bad decision to go to Barcelona. He was just trying to put dinner on the table for his family. Leave Alex Sleb alone. Do you know what? I've always liked him, man. I always thought he was an absolute baller of a player. And do you know what it got me thinking about? Yeah, he was class, mate. He's so underrated. He was an absolute baller, Arhleb. Let's leave his picture up there because he's an absolute geezer, right? So listen, let's run with him. He came at a time that was a little bit of this and that for Arsenal Football Club, wasn't it? You know, we were losing some invincibles. Patrick Vieira, of course, just signed for Juventus. Sol Campbell up here on the back there, you know, the underbelly geezer. He was ready to, you know, do his AWOL Sol thing against Fulham, I believe it was. You know, Perez, yeah, he was ready to leave, wasn't he? You know, the squad was getting older and we was going through different things, but this was an unbelievable signing. So underrated. When we talk about Arsenal and we talk about their midfield, and there is a link to this because the midfield we have now, this guy would not only just walk into our midfield, he would be our best midfielder by a country mile. Hendo, big up to you, Hendo. He would be our best midfielder. Did I just say defender? I don't know. He would be our best midfielder by a country mile. All right, yeah, you didn't have to finish on him. And he didn't even really like taking a shot. But his footwork, the way he just to dribble and beat around players, I mean, it's unbelievable. And I'm glad you've just said that because guess what I'm going to bring up for every single one of you wonderful Friday fuckers in the chat? Let's bring up what team he was surrounded by, yeah? And we're going to do that right now. Look at this team and then think about this. When I get this team up, look at the midfield now that we have and then look at this midfield. It's shocking. El Choco. Let's have a little goosey. Come on, we'll look together. Denilson, okay, not a good start, is it? Not a good start. But there's a reason why I scrolled and left it on Denilson, everyone. Because guess what we've got now? Mikel Merino, sideways boy. Denilson, guess what we've got now? Odegaard, sideways boy. Denilson. Guess who we also have in the squad now? We've now got our little Norgard, sideways boy. Denilson. What are we doing here in terms of midfielders? Then we got Flamini underneath it, yeah? And do you know what? Fair dues to Flamini. I mean, at the emergency left-back settings, he was unbelievable in the Champions League. But look what you've got underneath that. Let me zoom in on this a little bit more so maybe you can see it a little bit clearer. You'll have to bear with me. Here we go. We'll zoom in just a little bit more. That makes it a little bit easier for me and a little bit easier for you. Alex Song, only 19 at the time as well, to be fair, and this year. This is the 06-07 season that I've zoomed in on. So Caleb had been here for a year and a half at this time, 2 years. Alex Song. We all remember Alex Song, didn't we, for them pinged in passes to Robin Van Persie. Absolute executed to perfection. Song actually turned out to be a decent player, and he'd done the same thing. He'd done the same thing as Alex Leb. He went to Barcelona for pastures new, and it didn't quite work out. But leave Alex Song alone. And this is where it gets blockbuster. Because I'll tell you what, Flamini would even do a job over some of these geezers. And guess who would also still do a job? Alex Song. Alex Song would probably, now that Thomas Partey's gone, he'd be in direct competition and in good competition with Zubimendi, who's just cost us 55 million. I actually thought as the years grew on, Alex Song was unbelievable. 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 Like for the price that he was playing, I don't think he was phenomenal, like, you know, fantastic. But I thought, considering I thought he was fantastic, really underrated. Look underneath it though, Cesc Fabregas. Cesc Fabregas. And the reason why I'm doing this is because everyone's saying that this is an unbelievable Arsenal midfield, and we'll get into how unbelievably terrible it is very, very, very soon. We had Cesc Fabregas here. Abu Diaby underneath, guys and girls. Abu Diaby underneath. Patrick Vieira will tell you himself, minus the injuries, Giza was going to be probably one of the best midfielders Arsenal, the Premier League, have ever seen. I think that's fair to say. BBK Sports in the building. If you want the link, I will send it to you, my friend. All you have to do is write yes. If you want to chill out and enjoy whatever, you're all good, my brother. If you want to jump on, you are more than welcome. Let me turn that ring off because it sounds like a ice cream van in there. But if you want to jump on, bruv, you are more than welcome to run through this with me, my brother. Cesc Fabregas walks into this team. I mean, he doesn't just walk into this team. He hops, skips and jumps into this team. He gets out of bed and he somersaults into this team. I mean, you could probably chop one of his legs off and he still gets into this team. Cesc Fabregas and Abu Diaby. I mean, come on, man. You got Alex Leb in there. So let's scroll down a little bit more. We got a bit of Henry Lansbury. You know, that didn't quite work out, did it? Let's go up a little bit. Oh, Gilberto Silva. Oh, that's a little bit. Oh, I left Denilson there to just let you know about Denilson. Oh, we scrolled up and we found Gilberto Silva. Probably the most underrated Arsenal midfielder of absolute all time. Absolute all time, by the way. Gilberto Silva in the building. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, this Arsenal midfield, by the way, Gilberto Silva in it, Alex Song in it, Cesc Fabregas in it, Diaby in it. Who else did they have in it? Let's have a little goosey. Let's see if we can find any more midfielders this length of time ago. 18 years ago, to be precise. Let's scroll down. Thomas Rosicky. Would Thomas Rosicky get into this midfield, Arsenal? Chat, come on. Would he get into it? Of course he bloody would. He'd probably be the best midfielder at this football club. Thomas Rosicky. Yeah. Joseph Connor. Yeah, you know it, bruv. You know it, mate. Thomas Rosicky would be the absolute boss of this midfield. Let's have a little scroll down, shall we? Who else can we find? Who else can we conjure? Because let's not forget, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, girls and geezers, Arsenal Football Club have spent £414 million on their midfield. But I'm just looking at talent after talent after talent after talent, and I'm not seeing anyone that compares. Declan Rice, Gilberto Silva, Cesc Fabregas, Odegaard. Really? Thomas Partey and that version of a fit Diaby? Really? Fabio Vieira, Thomas Rosicky? Really? Anyone in Alex Leb? Really? Is that what we're doing? Let's scroll down a little bit further. Oh, yeah, there's Alex Leb himself. We even had geezer like Julio Baptista in there. And obviously, we're going now to the forwards. We even had a bit of Julio Baptista. Do you remember that 4 goals at Anfield in the Carabao Cup? Which probably would have been the Carling Cup at the time. And that free kick he scored. Absolute boss. What was that? 6-3, I think we ran out, wasn't it? Alex Song, I actually think himself scored that day. Do you know that? Who else got a goal? I think Jeremy Aliadier got one. Yeah, that was it. Alex Song got the first one, I think. And then Jeremy Aliadier scored from a counter-attack. Yeah, that's literally it. Look at that midfield that Arsenal Football Club had nearly 20 years ago. And that weren't even deemed good enough then, by the way. Weren't even deemed good enough then. How mad is this? This is Arsenal's Football Club's midfield now, yeah? Let's have a little goosey. Let's have a little goosey at this. Give me 2 seconds. Give me 1 second. Let's remove this. You're going to have to look at my face for a second. Apologies. And let's bring this up. Here we go. This is what the current squads are dealing with. The potential of Arsenal's midfield in the 25-26 campaign. Is it good enough to win the Gunners their first Premier League title in 22 years? Who knows? Declan Rice, probably, maybe you'd argue, could have got into that squad. Zubimendi wouldn't have got into that team. This is 06-07 Arsenal. Declan Rice maybe gets into it. Zubimendi probably don't get into it. Norgard don't even get in the reserves bench. I love the fact that they put Miles Lewis-Skelly in here because this is funny. This is why I wanted to bring this up. Miles Lewis-Skelly, they put in there. They say he's the next best left back since Ashley Cole, but to further their narrative of midfield, they have to put him in the conversation. So they just play him wherever to suit their narrative. I actually would agree with that, but it's funny how Top Gunners put him there. Same with Ethan Nwaneri. Shock, copy and paste. I thought he was the backup to Saka, but now he's a midfielder. Who's the backup to Saka, though? Top Gunners, they just can't make their mind up, can they? Mikel Merino, he's behind Denilson. Mikel Merino, he's behind Denilson. Fabio Vieira's behind Henry Lansbury. Yeah. And Martin Odegaard is behind both of them. Martin Odegaard's behind Mark Randall. Yeah, let's get that absolutely right. £414 million. £414 million, ladies and gentlemen. That's what Arsenal's outlaid. There's no arguing it. It's an undeniable fact. That's what we're doing here. What are we doing here is what we're all saying. How mad is that? It's batshit, is it not? Is it just me? Or is this absolute batshit? I don't know. But if Arsenal spending £414 million on their midfield, and not one of them probably would get into a declining 06-07 Arsenal squad. Wow. What are we doing here? How mad is that when you start comparing that? Because people don't see these things. And that's why when I was looking at it and it was Hleb and I got that picture up, I was like, oh, wow, yeah, that was a phenomenal midfield, wasn't it? And then I was like, yeah, that midfield didn't win anything. We actually berated that midfield for not getting what we needed. Now we've got this midfield and we've spent not even that far off of £500 million to recruit this crap. Yeah, including players gone and players here under Mikel Arteta and excluding Miles Lewis-Skelly and Nwaneri, by the way, because Top Gunners can't eat with both sides of their mouth, by the way. They can't. It's as simple as that. Miles Lewis-Skelly cannot be the next best thing since Ashley Cole, and then you put him in midfield. And Ethan Nwaneri, as a transfer thing, can't be the backup to Bukayo Saka whilst also being a midfielder. You don't get both. We see this. We see things they'll never see. Oasis, come on. What we doing here? I'm going to see him next month. I'm excited. Give me a break. This is why I put this up for everyone, because you know my phrase. People, what do? You wonderful Friday so-and-sos. People listen with their eyes now. So I can leave things like this up on the screen. And then I can give it a cheeky little switch over. Sorry. And then I can put things like this on the screen, just so you can see and compare for yourselves. We're not talking shit. We're just saying how bad this is. Look at cheeky Mark Randall there. Probably rather him than Odegaard. Probably had the same output. It's ridiculous. Absolute madness. When you think about it, innit, ladies and gents? I'm going to put the link in if anyone wants to join. And we're going to talk about Arsenal's midfield. Obviously, I'm going to put the link in. You know, if I've seen you, we're going to do a call in later. But if anyone wants to jump in, this is never going to be a long show. We're just going to have a little chat about the midfield because it's Friday and I wanted to say hello to everyone. We've got Sheppo in the building. Big up to the geezer who has decided to become a member. And listen, like all of my prior donations, man, not only is it unbelievably appreciated by myself, it actually goes to the channel. So my back is no longer broken. We managed to get ourselves a new chair and it all goes to little things like mics and things like that. I'm going to be getting some more decor for up there, do you know, all Arsenal themed, all things for the channel, listen, all of that, and that goes a long way, man. Thank you very much. Remember, you don't have to do that. It's all cool. I never asked for it, but thank you very much, man. It is absolutely double, treble, quadruple appreciated, and I hope you're having a good day, man. Let's say hello to people in the chat because you've listened to me whinge and moan for about 20 minutes. Let's say hello to all of you wonderful Friday so-and-sos. I mean, it might not even be Friday where you're from if you're from Australia, is it? I don't know. I'm so terrible with time in my own country. I can't really say things like that. Let's have a little goosey. We had a dream. We had a dream, Mikel Arteta. We had a dream, didn't we? Come on. We got, yeah. Mum Spaghetti's on the wind-up. He always is our brother. We love a bit of Mum Spaghetti. But, yeah, he's a piss-taker, he is. He is a piss-taker. But it's greatly appreciated. I like a bit of banter. Come on, man. Come on. That's what it's all about. let's put some smiles on faces this Friday. That's what we'll do as well later on in the show. We'll have a little bit of fun. We've got a great panel coming up as well at 8:30. So make sure you do not forget that. And we're joined by Gianni, bruv. What we say, man? Come on, man.
Nothing, man. Got an easy day at work so far. Took care of all my stuff, so that's it. I just wanted to say, dude, we are so shit. Our recruiting is so bad. It's not even funny. Like it, it's so sad to look because it's like, dude, Sesko's still 80. They're still talking about him. Yes, obviously, people are starting to come around. It sounds like people are starting to come around and realize that he's not the guy and that everybody wants should be getting Gyökeres. Oh, between the two big ones that we're looking at. But I mean, dude, we're just terrible. I don't know how we haven't I don't know why this fan base still wants nothing but Hollywood signings. We have enough money to go through and pick up at least 6, 7, 8, maybe even 9 players if we did this the right way to build an actual full squad and still be able to go out and get somebody who can walk into this team and start at both the number 10 and left wing position. I don't get it. This Christian Mosquera, he's not that good of a signing if he ends up coming, man. He really isn't. Like Valencia's defense was shit. He was not that good. I don't know why we're looking at this guy at all. I think he'll end up being the backup left back for Calafiori.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, 100%, man. Like I was having a sort of little look myself because I didn't know anything about him. I'm not going to lie, and I never lie to people on camera. I didn't really know anything, so I had a little look to see what position he plays. I didn't really tell whether he played right, left back. Anyways, I didn't actually sort of realize before I watch a couple of other streams, etc. Do a little bit of mini research, blah blah blah, and guess what? Yeah, like you said, he plays on the left hand side. What's that? What like? Why? Why? So does that mean we're getting rid of Ricardo Calafiori? I hope so. Does that mean we're getting rid of Kivior? I hope so. And then that means we've got players to plug. Mate,
I think Calafiori's staying. If Zinchenko's the guy that's linked to AC Milan, I think we're going to tough it through and end up sticking with Calafiori, which I don't. Again, for me, I don't think we should be getting rid of Zinchenko, in my personal opinion. I think we should be keeping him for squad depth in the midfield. I don't think my worry about the season right now with the way that we're looking as far as a squad is we're going to build a team that is just going to be a good 11 and just have Trossard on the bench and then hope that he has an idea of how many minutes he's going to actually give Skelly and Wanyeri to come off the bench. My worry is that all the youth talent that we have is not going to get the opportunity that it deserves. And the only way that it will get the opportunity is, again, if we have the same situation as last year where we have a ton of injuries that pile up. But the problem is if we have a ton of injuries pile up with this team this year, we're not going to be 10 points behind. We're going to be more like closer to 20 points behind if we have this injury pile up like we do with the squad, it looks like.
Yeah, facts, mate. Do you know what makes me laugh as well? And someone said to me, I don't know who it was, so I can't give them the credit, but it's not one of my own faults. One of my own thoughts, rather. Is that it wouldn't surprise me if we sign this Mosquera and he plays right back, because he has played right back before. When I was going through this sort of chat and things like that, and I see that he played at centre back, it didn't say which side it was on the bit that I was looking at. It just said centre back. And then it said right back. So I just sort of took that as, okay, he must be a right-footed player that plays on the right side. Hence, the 2 positions that he's played with Valencia have been there. It just sort of made me giggle, the fact that we could actually see, without Thomas Partey there, his lovely little giddy project of playing him at right back. We could probably see Mosquera playing there at right season, because everyone keeps saying to me, bruv, and I get a couple of people backstage in very, very, very shortly. I keep sort of hearing some people saying, what are you talking about? They're going to be fine. We've got 2 right backs. Bruv, we've got 2 right backs that are recovering from surgery. We've got 2 right backs that won't be able to play pre-season straight away. Maybe not all of it, maybe some of it in one of them's cases. We don't know. But you can't just go, all right, look what happened to Timber ultimately towards the end of the season. And look what he come out and said. He got absolutely flogged. I was there at the game at Nottingham Forest. I was there. I was watching him from my seat. And I remember saying to Darren Smoke Chew, Dazza Smoke Chew, I don't know if he's in the chat or not, he don't look right. He don't look right. What does Arteta do? Send him back out. What does he do? Last 5 more minutes, he's out for the season. What do we do the following season? we flog him to the point where he needs surgery again. And he's come out and he was like, I was screwed all season. Yeah, does people genuinely think that not giving him a pre-season and then starting him again is the way forward? What do people think, bruv? And with Ben White, now he's got that injury. Niggle.
He should be moved to center back, bro. His original position is center back.
Yeah.
At this point in time, with what we're dealing with, if Mosquera is going to come in, you get him and you keep Ben White as your backup center back, and you go get a right back that's legit going to start, and it is what it is by then. I didn't understand why we let go of Partey. It's so stupid. We spent more money to go get a bullshit scrub who's going to be our center defense midfielder. Like, I don't get why people are hyping this guy up. Sure, Brentford did good to where they're at, but he's not anything that's changing anything for us. He's just a job guy, and we need people that are going to press the first team guys to make them scared and on edge that they may lose their position. This is just going to be a comfort zone. It goes back to what you, Shane, and everybody have said over the past. It's just making sure everybody stays comfortable. And it's like, we can't be comfortable. It's been 21 years since we won the league. Like, we need to keep it moving.
Yeah. And it will be 22. And this is what makes me laugh as well. And I promise you, two backstage, we'll keep it Arsenal. We're just finished because Jenna is my boy. Do you know what I mean? We're going to keep going. Man, they're like, oh, yeah, but, it took Klopp 4 years to win the league. Yeah, but he also won the Champions League. He also won everything else in Europe. He also won other domestic cups as well. That's what they all buy. We're 2 years expired on that. 2 years expired on that. Alex Ferguson would be the other rebuttal for people that are intelligent enough to go, actually, Alex Ferguson won it in his 6th season. One, he came with a very, very, very highly significant CV, which also involved him winning the Scottish First Division in 66-67 with St Mirren. I mean, he won all sorts of stuff with Aberdeen. And guess what he done? People forget this. Oh, yeah, he wins the Premier League in his 6th season. Do you know what people forget, bruv? They forget that in 89-90, which was his 3rd full season, he won the FA Cup. They also forget a year later, he won the Euro Super Cup. The Euro Cup Winners' Cup. And then that year, won the European Super Cup. What did he do later? He won the League Cup. So before he won the league that everyone says 6th season, he'd won both domestic trophies in England and 2 European trophies. But that don't fit their narrative, so it slips the mind, doesn't it? It slips the mind. The very fact that I've proved it and disproved it, how long it takes every person since the Premier League's inception to win the Premier League is like 2.1 years. Yep. 2.1 years on average for every single manager that has lifted the Premier League title. Just over 2 years on average. We're going into our 6th year. No one can answer it. No one can answer it, bruv. They can't answer it. And I put it on screen with all the statistical facts, and they're like, duh, they're dribbling and collecting it all like that. Duh, what's he talking about?
They're hitting the bottom of the barrel now for excuses.
Oh yeah,
the excuses. They know. Listen, like I said, the fixtures setup was sent from the heavens, because they would not be getting that upset if they were buying all the bullshit that they've been spewing out. Yeah, they wouldn't have been 100%. That scared of the fixtures.
Egal goat tier content. How about this for tier content? That motherfucker. What we saying? Let's bring some people in. Yeah. Sniper Scope. And then we right. Our brother from Doncaster.
Hello.
We go with Sniper first because he came in first in the chat. So Sniper Scope, what we saying, bruv?
It's just disappointing. Like, I'm not looking forward to next season at all. Like, I'm dreading it, to be fair. Unless we do the signings that we need to do. And even then, I think we're miles away from what City have done and Liverpool, obviously. So.
Yeah. Listen, it's frustrating. I sort of hear your point there. I think what you're sort of getting at as well is it's a little bit frustrating to see Arsenal Football Club. Whilst, yes, we are now doing business. That's undeniable. We can't argue that. It's also not at the magnitude and the level that our rivals, Manchester City and Liverpool, are doing, aren't they? I think it's fair to say that if you compared the two clubs, even prior to any business this summer, you'd probably say Arsenal's still behind. You'd probably say Arsenal maybe even still behind Manchester City because of the squad depth that they've got and the manager they've got. Now you've got to factor in the fact that them two clubs have hit this Premier League transfer window hard in their quest to get above each other, albeit Arsenal have signed Kepa, woo, Norgard, woo. They've got Zubamendi in the door, maybe-ish, for the 948,000th time in this winter, in this calendar year. Sorry, I should say. And we got a bit of Norgard in. I would say, and I think the point that you're saying is as well is Arsenal actually so far have gone further behind them two clubs. Would you agree?
Massively. Yeah, with Partey leaving, and then they've got Rodri coming back, and then they've signed Reinders, and we've got Norgard.
It's do you know what? It's as easy as that. So I've been on panel shows the last couple of days, yeah. I was on with Deluded Gun. I'm very privileged to be able to get invited on that. And then I was on Never Foul, and Igal was on there, of course, spitting his bloody nonsense. And they just don't understand what I'm saying to them. When I say to them, I'm just like, well, yeah, you know, we've spent all this money on the midfield. It's not good enough. They're like, yeah, but we're a striker away. They're selling this. All right, well, you know, it's took us 5 years. Who's that striker going to be? With Sesko. All right, well, he scored 43 league goals in the last 3 years. What does that take us to? And I'll bring the Doncaster man in here because he seems to know good about ball. Arsenal Football Club, yeah? Arsenal Football Club are about to probably sign Sesko, who averages 13 league goals a season in his last 3 years. It's funny because Kai Havertz, his best season for Arsenal in the league is 13 league goals. It's funny because Gabriel Jesus is now, how much is, 13 league goals. So only Arsenal Football Club would wait 5.5 years for Mikel Arteta to sign a striker, 2.5 years to replace Aubameyang, our last striker, and replace 13 league goals with 13 league goals. And this is the take that Arsenal don't get from this as well, and then I'll let you jump in. If Sesko doesn't bang, do you think the Cronkies are going to give Arsenal and Arteta and whoever 150 million to go get Sesko if he's still at Newcastle next year? Do you reckon Gyökeres is still going to be available next year?
Oh,
No. We've got a problem, bruv. Doncaster, man. Come on, talk to me.
The fact that the fact that I'm happy with my win, ecstatic about my window, and the fact that Arsenal have had a really rubbish window is actually embarrassing for Arsenal. The most deluded thing I saw today was a tweet. I don't know if it was an Arsenal fan or someone else.
Probably
and he said,
was if it was deluded, to be fair.
Probably. And he said that Arsenal, first of all, he thinks that Arsenal are spending 165 million total on Sesko, Rodrigo, and someone else. I can't remember who he said. And then tried to laugh at United for signing Cunha and Mbalumo for 150 when they didn't even pay 150 for those two combined anyway. So facts out of the window straight away. I'm a touch basis with all the gooners watching out there who don't know ball, just to keep them updated. Let me remind you of who you're signing. Mosquera, who you all put on the right-hand side of your back line, yet he's a left-sided centre-back or a right-back. Just for all the gooners out there, the tippity top gooners who back Arteta, just to point that out in case they don't know ball. Yeah, exactly. So I've seen the theories about Mosquera already. They think, put him on the right hand side and then cash in on Saliba to pay for Rodrigo and try and do a Real Madrid swap deal. First of all, nah, that ain't gonna happen. Just because Rodrigo's been on the bench during the Club World Cup a couple of times does not mean he's leaving Real Madrid, the Galacticos. Yeah, Rodrigo is staying at Real Madrid. Facts. That's just put that out there. Rodrigo's staying at Real Madrid. I'll be very surprised if he goes to Arsenal, let alone leave Real Madrid. Secondly, Zubamendi and Norgard in the midfield. First of all, Norgard's a backup. Let's not get it twisted. Yeah. Norgard is not a Partey replacement. He is a rotational backup for cup games and less important Premier League games. And I put that into context because for me, Arsenal need to treat every single game like a final because that's what a big club does.
Yeah.
Zubamendi is Jorginho with a bit more pace. and probably a better overall player long term. I think that Zubamendi's not the Partey replacement; he's the Jorginho replacement. So actually, when you deep it, they haven't got a Partey replacement. They've just got a backup, a new backup, and a Jorginho replacement. So they've not actually replaced Partey.
Yeah.
So then you deep that, and then you go to the front line. Havertz, like you said, Havertz's best season was 13 goals. It's taken them 5 years to replace 13 goals with 13 goals. And the funny thing is, the funniest thing is that the other guy, Gyökeres, has scored way more than Benjamin Sesko, and he costs about 5-10 million less than Sesko minimum. So the fact that Arsenal are going to spend more money on a player with less goal contributions than Gyökeres just to piddle out the narrative of give him more time under that manager is absolute bollocks. It is absolute bollocks. It is a clear PR spin because what they will do...
Big up Shane.
Big up Shane Gooner as well. Right?
Big up Shane Gooner.
He's got some wonderful streams. Big up Shane.
Fantastic.
Sesko, who will cost 5, 10, 50 million pound more than Gyökeres, produces less than Gyökeres, but because he fits the system, apparently he fits the system. No, he doesn't fit the system, because if Sesko comes in, he's going to start Havertz ahead of him already. He's going to play a false nine. He's going to go with the slow, methodical football that he did last season and use Rory Delap style throw-ins to get him out of jail in very tough situations against low blocks, against compact defenses, against teams that won't do an Ange Postecoglou and exploit their high line every week, or should I say every week, barring the week they actually won a trophy. Just to tell you Top Gooners exactly what to do to win a trophy. It's ridiculous what I'm seeing with Arsenal at the minute, and like I say, I look at this as an outsider. We've not even had, I think our first pre-season game for Donny Rovers is on the 8th of July. And I think we travel out to Spain for our pre-season training camp week at the start of next week. Let me put it into perspective. We've signed 7 players before we jet off to our pre-season training camp. 7. 7. One of our centre-backs retired. One went to Shrewsbury. One went to Stockport. What did we do? We brought in a long-time potential centre-back for a fee from Crystal Palace. We're about to bring in possibly a loanee, and we're also going to bring in another one. And we've brought in other players as well. We've also kept Billy Sharp. There's different levels between Doncaster and Arsenal, but the fact that we've done more business than Arsenal, despite the quality of business, and the fact that Arsenal can sit there and try and justify signing Mosquera, who I do think is a good player, but do I think he takes the levels of Saliba and Gabriel or overtakes Saliba and Gabriel? Absolutely not. I think Mosquera is a backup defender at best. I think he's on the level of Kivior, in my opinion. So you've got Mosquera, you've got Norgard, who's a backup. They're not going to sign Rodrigo. The best they're going to sign, I'll tell you what Arsenal will do. And if I end up predicting this correct, then I'm sorry I've jinxed you guys with bad luck. They're going to wait until deadline day, and they're going to overhype the signing of Alejandro Garnacho. They're going to spend 40, 50 million pounds.
Don't say Garnacho. No. You'll get banned if you use the G word on here.
Well, I don't like saying it. I really don't like saying it.
You've been listening to too much of Mum Spaghetti. No. Mum Spaghetti is getting to you. Where is this bastard in the chat, Mum Spaghetti? He's coming in here using the G word too much. Look, mods never ban him, by the way. Oh, this is all banter. Mods never ban Mum Spaghetti. He uses the G word. Maybe time him out for a couple of minutes. Because I'm sick of him using the G word, and he's putting the 14 number behind it. There you are, you piss taker.
That's my biggest worry, with Arsenal. Don't get me wrong, Rodrigo for Arsenal would be a fabulous signing. It would be a signing that shows their statement of intent out on the wing. But I'll tell you something now, if Arsenal end up doing that on deadline day and paints it up like their signing of the summer with that iconic number 14, if they even try and do that and try and dress this up as a signing of the summer, I swear to God, Arsenal have no standards. They've not.
They don't.
And you know what? I will quote what Jez said on Dan Potts' stream. Big up Jez, proper Arsenal.
Big up Jez.
He said, and I'm paraphrasing here, the squad now is back to where it was under Emery. And you know what? I agree with him. But the difference is Emery's squad is better because it actually made it to a final. You've actually got winners in that squad, people who can get over the line. And don't let anybody try and let you dismiss the fact that you've won an FA Cup under Emery's squad with a different manager. And I saw D on that stream say, we can't excuse the FA Cup. He's got to count for the FA Cup. Yeah, with a squad that's not his. And the fun thing is, he's got rid of everyone barring one or two players from that squad and won nothing since, barring 2 Community Shields, which you win at the start of a season regardless. Right. So, I honestly, from the outside looking in, I can tell Arsenal fans, even Tippity Top Gooners watching this, for a fact that every single member of football is laughing at Arsenal Football Club right now because they do not take themselves seriously. They do not hold their football club to the highest possible standard, apart from the select few like yourself, Aaron, like Troops, like Lee Gunner, like Matt, like Jez, like DJB, like everyone else in this chat, everyone else on this stream, and plenty of others that I probably haven't named, and I do apologize. The select
they're never
group...
going to forgive you.
No, exactly not.
Name them all, or they'll never forgive you. No,
I can predict exactly what's going to happen when Arteta leaves that football club. The fans that backed him, first of all, won't back the next manager.
We do need to get someone else going in, bruv. We do need to get someone else jumping in because this ain't going to be going for forever. So wrap up. Definitely wrap. You got to wrap up, bruv.
Yeah, I'll wrap up with this then. So when Arteta goes, because he will go at some point, the fans that backed him, first of all, won't back the next manager. And secondly, they'll turn around to the people who called this manager out from the day he got the job in 2019, and they will go, why don't you apologise then, because he's leaving now? Thank him for what he did. Thank him for what? He's done nothing. He's achieved nothing. He might have boosted the morale time and time again with the Liverpool "you'll never walk alone" bollocks, but he's not actually won anything, which is the aim of elite sport. So why would I, and why would anyone who's an Arsenal fan or an outside fan, apologise for telling the truth? And I can call it now.
Yeah, now facts. DJ Crane, whilst I never did find the G-spot, I did find Capo HD, and he's jumping in to say hello, man. How you doing, bruv?
I'm good still, man, seeing Norgard to Arsenal, Brentford Stadium and training ground just like right outside my house, so I might have to tell them to terminate that deal, bro, real quick.
You're not happy with it, now?
Hell no, man. Hell to the no. Why am I going to be... That's a downgrade. That's like going from Meghan Markle or Scarlett Johansson and they give me fucking the local nitty.
Yeah,
man.
It's frustrating.
Like, you can fix her and that, man. Shut up, man. No, shut up. Like, this is fan base, bro. Like, I'm 22. I've been going to the Emirates since 2014, and I just keep getting some new excuses every year. New excuse. Oh no, give time. Oh, the Rome wasn't built in a day, but it was destroyed in a day, and that's what this club's been doing. It's been destroying the legacy, and the fan base are just laughing up everything. Talking about phase 6. At least Marvel's got phases that's enjoyable. I can watch that and be happy. It's not enjoyable about it. I can go to the movie, go watch a Marvel movie and be like, oh yeah, I actually like that. I can go to an Arsenal game and be like, oh man, can I take my time back?
Yeah, mate. Do you know what? Do you know how many times last season I left? Because it's easier to name the times that I left the Emirates Stadium actually relatively happy, and I'll list them. Real Madrid, we left very happy. Manchester City, I left very happy, but also under the notion that we won't be winning anything regardless. So, meh. And then I'm like, well, the first PSG, yeah, that was a pretty good Champions League game. That was all right, but it was only 45 minutes again. Nottingham Forest, that was good, 45 minutes. I didn't go away at West Ham. It was a good performance, but again, that was only 45 minutes. And then I'm start scratching my head and I'm thinking, okay, well, I've named 2 90-minute performances that were pretty good. And now I'm scratching my head. I'm going down to group stage performances. I'm going to games against Nottingham Forest where we only produced 45 minutes. The point that I'm trying to make is you're right. You know, you can go to the movies, you can do all of this and all that. You can spend 2 hours however you want to. But I'll tell you one thing now, straight from my eyes, and if you go to the games like I do, You know, you'll see for yourself. I'll sit in my seat sometimes. I'm thinking, what the fuck is going on here? I'll look down at my phone and I'm thinking, I'll start getting my phone out and I'm like, I'm at football. I'm just bored. I'm watching what's going on. I'm trying to analyse players. I'm trying to think what Mikel Arteta's trying to do, and I'm sat there and thinking it's burning off too much of my little brain energy trying to think about what Mikel Arteta's doing, because if he's trying to win, it ain't translating onto the pitch and into my eyes and to my brain. I'll tell you that for a fact. It just ain't happening, Capo.
You know me. I had a season ticket. Like, obviously, this is like I'm not going to next season, but like last season was like my pinnacle point. Like I just lost it. Like I got to the point that I downloaded Pokemon Go during an Arsenal game. I forgot what Arsenal game it was to play Pokemon Go in the game. I was like, man, oh my days, a Pikachu outside the stadium. They're like, oh, we're playing. I think it was when we lost to West Ham. I was like, yeah, man. They're like, oh, we lost to West Ham. I was like, I don't care, man. There's a Pikachu outside.
Was it a shiny?
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. It weren't. It's even worse. It weren't even a fucking shiny. Yeah. I mean, what can you do, man? What can you do? It's frustrating, and that's what we're all doing. Yeah, you know, I always go on panel shows, boys, and you know, I always get pelters in the chat. I don't give a fuck, to be fair, but I get pelters in the chat, and do you know, all of them people, and I said this on Never Foul last week. I was a little bit rude to the chat, but do you know what? When I read sometimes in a little bit of the chat, I just think, you know, I'm going to give it to you a little bit back, and I'll give it back to them. And do you know what I said to him? I was like, do you know what? I'm going to say this, but before I do, I'm going to play a little game with you, the chat. And I'm like, I will find out once I've said all the real football fans, and I'll find out all the real Arsenal fans in this, and I'll let rip on there. And then all the little bitches that were writing back to me, I was just sitting there looking and laughing and smiling again. Yeah, you're not the real ones. The point what I'm saying to that is there's so many match day going fans, so many match day, so many fans that aren't match day going fans that do this, do that, rah rah rah. There are major problems within this football club. Major problems, and we do this. We come online. You're bruv. I've never seen you on streams before, Capo. You put your face, you know what I mean, to your writing. Same with Gianni. Same with Shao. We all do this. We know we make ourselves sort of vulnerable in essence. I've had so much disgusting shit wrote to me. It's unbelievable. I can't even repeat it. Stuff about my daughters, my missus, etc., etc. I will never repeat it. But like just the very fact that we're rattling them now, we're more of us coming out the woodwork. There's a me coming through. There's a Shane coming through. There's a Carl. There's a Normski. There's this. And then I open up the calling chats and I meet wonderful people like all of you that want to spit facts. Obviously, Shao's not an Arsenal fan. But you know what? He comes on and he spits facts because he knows about football. We
did
find
the research.
We find you do the research. What's it's all about? You find Gianni's, bruv. Find Gianni's and sit there. And I remember the first time we come to the call in, I was like sitting there just thinking, I didn't even really know what to say, what he said. I was like, wow, yeah, copy and paste what he said. Do you know what I mean? Get yourselves, Capo. Come on and do you know what I mean? Just spit in your facts. There's more of us coming out the woodwork, and they don't like it, the top gooners. They don't. Because you know why? They've been in their comfortable little zone for so long now, where they're unchallenged on all the panel shows. They can say what they want in this gospel. Now you've got the likes of all of us coming out there and spitting our absolute facts, and it makes me smile. Boom, I'm happy with
really
it.
glad.
Happy. I'm going to drink to that. Boom.
I'll tell you what, Aaron, I'm really glad you said comfort zone right there, because that's the exact reason why players like Walcott and Oxlade-Chamberlain left Arsenal in the first place, to get out of a comfort zone and try and better themselves somewhere else. I'm glad you said the word comfort zone there, because it's exactly what some players did to try and move their career onward, and that's what other players needed to do. I felt bad.
That's why Rodrigo won't come here.
Exactly. I felt bad that Lewis Skelly signed a new contract, because I knew for a fact that Arteta would ruin the next 5 years of his career unless the manager changes. And I feel bad for Miles. And I do hope
he's gone. He's gone by the end of this year, man. He's gone by the end of this year. There's been
Arsenal cash in on it.
Huh?
And because he signed that new contract, Arsenal will cash in on it, and they'll try and dress it up like it's the perfect bit of business.
For who? For Skelly?
If Lewis Skelly leaves this time next year for a
He's
lot
not.
of money,
Arteta's leaving at the end of the year. Arteta's not staying, dude. Arteta,
Good.
listen. First of all, I wanted to come back on what you said. Zubamendi doesn't replace Jorginho. Zubamendi just comes in. If Zubamendi was really replacing Jorginho, Real Sociedad would have been able to consistently crack the top 4, top 3 in Spain if he was really that good. Because at one point, everybody was hyping up this whole midfield that he had, number one. Number two, it even goes further back to show that Arteta doesn't know what the hell he's doing, because the year that they won the trophy, Real Sociedad, I believe either Odiard was, if Odiard was there, that was the year he played left wing because he couldn't even play in number 10 because David Silva was there at the age that David Silva was. And again, that was the one-off year. They've been in and out of Champions League for maybe 3 years, and besides that, they're still trying to get a 6th place spot. Jorginho at Napoli played way better than what Zubamendi played at Real Sociedad, if we're being completely honest. And Jorginho, from how rough his first year was at Chelsea with Sadi into what he ended up turning into for Chelsea, is miles better than what I think Zubamendi can turn into over here. The only way Zubamendi is going to be successful, in my opinion, at Arsenal is if we change the formation from a 4-3-3 to a 4-2-3-1. Declan Rice has to stay further back and has to rotate and cover in if Zubamendi gets caught out of position on counterattacks, because he's not fast enough to drop back. That's why I said we should have got Guendouzi or Rovella or both of them from Lazio, because the both of them would have cost only 10 million more than what Zubamendi was, and you have your rotation. You could leave that piece of shit Norgard in Brentford. So that's number one. Number two, anybody who thinks Rodrigo's coming, he's not coming. No top quality winger is going to come to Arsenal unless they're coming from a smaller league or a much smaller team because they want to get a payday and they want to put their name out there for the next move to a bigger club. And we should take advantage of that with the talent that's out there. We can go get Conceição right now for 30 million. Conceição's better. Conceição's better than everybody that we're linked to outside of Rodrigo, and maybe it's debatable who's better between him and Eze. That's it. That's it.
Oh, he's gone. Johnny's gone. Of course, in the middle of a rant, obviously. Do you know what I mean?
I tell you what. Here's an alternative to Rodrigo, and I'll turn to Lee Gunner here because I do rate him as well. Yeremai,
mate. El Capitan.
Yeremai, get Yeremai, because if you want a quality baller on the wing who could actually challenge the likes of Saka, Yeremai, only going to cost you about 30 million. Max.
There's 35. More here. There's him. There's Alex Baena, who walks in as the starting left winger for this team. You have Yeremy Pino, who's the right winger on Villarreal that's on the team, that walks in at the left wing position. You have Eze walks in, whether he takes over for Odegaard or on the left wing. Eze walks in.
Feyenoord geezer. Paixão.
Oh, Igor Paixão, the Brazilian. He walks in at 20. I think they said 27.5 million is what they're asking for him, or maybe it's more now. Maybe
Jogo Bonito. Got to give him the credit for that. He told me about
big up Aaron Jogo Bonito.
Yeah.
No, you got Paixão, you got him that's available. You got so many guys that are available. You have there was Conceição. Who the fuck else was there? There's a couple other guys out here. For strikers in the Bundesliga, there's a guy called Demirovic. He's a big Bosnian striker on Stuttgart. The guy's played 2 different types of styles the last 2 years. With Stuttgart, he played open attacking football, and with Augsburg, he played counterattack, and he still scored more goals over 2 years in the Bundesliga than Sesko, and got more assists than Sesko. He's available for 28.5 million. The guy, the German kid from Brighton has been tearing it up in the Bundesliga. I take him, Undav. I take him for 25, 28, maybe 30 million. We could legitimately go out here and have Zubamendi, since we're stuck with him now, and burn the rest of this money up on 5-6 players and make a very good squad that puts us back into contention, at least for running for second. Because I'm sorry, if Liverpool gets Isak, or if this major player swap where Napoli sends Osimhen to Liverpool and they give us Darwin Nunez and Chiesa, if they get Osimhen or Gyökeres or Isak, you can hand them the title next year, because they'll smoke Manchester City too.
Yeah. You know what? I think the title's between Liverpool or City, regardless, because City have been spending on courageous money, and they've been
the title. The title is dependent on Liverpool. If Liverpool get a striker, it's theirs to lose. City, I don't think Ilkay Gundogan is ready to start a season, If he's the starting part of the center midfield, they're not going to win. Same thing with Bernardo Silva. His legs are gone. Whether he's 30, 31 years old, he was destroyed last year. You cannot start him. Reiners is a good player going forward. The problem is, again, this goes for people who don't watch Serie A. The better of the two attacking midfielders wasn't Reiners. It was Benacer, who got sold for a cheap amount of money to Marseille because he was injury prone. Reiners is a good player going forward. Defensively, he's suspect. So again, Manchester City's whole season is going to be riding on Rodri again. That's if Rodri gets hurt again, they're not competing, and it's Liverpool's to lose.
I also think a key player for City in transition in terms of the attacking qualities that he brings in terms of a new signing is Ait Nouri on the left-hand side. I think he's a fantastic player, and I think that if he transitions very well from the defence into attack and provides that attacking quality as a defender, I think that sets up potential left-handed opportunities that City need to finish via Haaland or whoever in front of goal. So I think in transition could be how City determines first or second. But I think it's between those two to win the title anyway. I don't think 100%. Arsenal. I don't even. Do you know what the funny thing is, right? Arsenal finished second. What, the last 3 seasons now? If they don't finish inside the top 2, it's regression regardless. So the top Gooners can't even defend it because they've gone down a place if they lose to Liverpool and City this season. And the fact that City were finishing only just behind them last season was embarrassing. And the fact that City could pretty much finish up above them by, I think, 5, 10, 15 points potentially, I think could be even more embarrassing. So Arsenal have got nowhere to hide this season. And the funny thing, and you know what? I don't even want to say it because I know it's going to happen. If Arteta gets sacked by Halloween or by Christmas or whatever, the fans that were sticking by Arteta will blame the fixtures for why Arteta got sacked and said, oh, it's the PGMOL league and all this bollocks. Like, there's nothing controversial about this Premier League. Yeah, there might be controversial aspects, but there is nothing controversial about the fixture scheduling. It's just the way it happens. It's done by random. It's done by this software, whatever, however it's done. It's not done the way that people are, because people are just not like, oh, it's controversial. They're doing it on purpose to suit, you know, the golden child or the golden children. I told you exactly, Kieran, spot on. They've already blamed the fixtures once. They'll blame referees. They'll blame injuries if they ever happen. I hope they don't have any injuries, because if they don't, Arsenal, they can't blame injuries for this season. They're going to blame referees, they're going to blame the fixture scheduling, and they're going to blame potential injuries if Arteta gets sacked. And I said it again, they ain't going to back the next manager. And you know what? I'll end my little bit for now on this. One of Arsenal's academy graduates, Joseph Olowu, came to my football club and within 3-4 years won a league title before Arteta wins a trophy. Just let that sink in. Olowu leaves Arsenal, goes on trial to Manchester United, then signs with us, becomes a starting centre-back, and within 3 years wins a league title and is about to sniff championship football. And what do Arsenal get from that? Nothing, because they let him go, because they don't believe in youth. Write it down.
Yeah, no, that's
and we love him, by the way. I spoke to Olowu's family. Yeah. I love them all to bits. Olowu, his family, they're amazing to speak to. And he does love Arsenal. I will say this, he does love Arsenal to his core, but he just knew he had to leave. He knew he had to leave.
Yeah, no, that's it. There's a reason why Heaven and Chido Martin left. And I'm just sort of grateful that...
Eze.
Yeah, I mean, well, Eze's another one of the expensive comebacks, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? The expensive comebacks, that could be,
Yep.
What's the release was like 68 million or something like that, there or thereabouts.
68 million rather than keep him in the academy and actually develop him.
Give him a go, innit? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
the funny thing is, I've started to see top Gooners hype up a 15-year-old kid rather than let him just play football without any pressure.
Yeah, that's what you do at Arsenal. What they do is build him up and then they'll destroy him. That's what they'll do.
We don't do that. We don't do that with our 18-year-olds.
Roberto Mancini in is what I'm saying.
Wait, listen, let me run with that. Roberto Mancini, bro. He would do wonders at Arsenal Football Club. He might not do wonders in terms of the next 3, 4, 5 years. We don't need him to build a dynasty at Arsenal. We need to come in, sort out what he's got, make a couple of signings, and win the fucking Premier League, win a trophy. That's what we need. Someone like
If you
that.
sacked
Heaven knows Mikel
Arteta,
won't do that.
if we sacked Arteta right now and ex-nayed all the signings that we're linked to, and we really have 250 to 300 million, and you have Roberto Mancini come in with 300 million, Arsenal are competing with Liverpool to win the league unless Liverpool gets Isak or Victor Osimhen. That's straight. I don't care what anybody says. Everybody can come up with whatever scenarios they want. If you got 300 million and you're giving Berta the power, and it's not underneath Arteta, and you have an experienced manager who knows how to win with Roberto Mancini, and we actually play football again, not this defensive bullshit that's hurting the team the last 3 years, or the last 2 years in specifics. Saka becomes a 20-goal scorer. Whoever becomes the left winger, because I personally think we should keep Trossard and Martinelli for depth, because we need depth with the team. That's the problem. If we have 300 million, go build up the rest of this team. That way we make this team as good as the squad as good as possible. You get a better manager, you have a way better chance of winning the Premier League. That's all I got to say. And Mancini's the best guy available.
Do you know what as well? So, sorry, one sec.
Yeah.
I do know him, my good friend here. He wants this one geezer. He wants this one geezer.
Roberto Di Matteo, mate.
Roberto Di Matteo, mate.
Big up to Lee for sending the clip.
Love
lovely,
it.
Lovely,
would it be quite hilarious if Liverpool went and signed Gyökeres after all the hype?
No, because they're moving like a proper club.
Yeah.
The problem that everybody doesn't realize with Liverpool is not only have they saved money, Fenway Sports Group, as far as with the Boston Red Sox, has slush funds. They haven't been handing out crazy contracts with the Red Sox. So if they have extra money to pump towards Liverpool, they have it. Yep. And plus, Liverpool haven't been spending money like that. Yeah, okay, they spent money. They spent the 70 million on Szoboszlai. Okay, cool. They spent the 30. They got McAllister for like 38 million, between 35, 38 million. They really didn't spend. You're telling me Szoboszlai and him was 100 million, but Odegaard, Havertz, and Declan Rice is 200 something million. Get the fuck out of here.
Wow. And do you know what the weird thing is as well? If Gyökeres ends up going to Liverpool this summer, I know exactly what Top Gunners will do. They're going to do what they did with other players and go, oh, well, I didn't really want Gyökeres anyway. I wanted Šeško. And they'll try and brush it under the carpet.
Brother, they want Šeško because of the manager. They want Šeško because of the manager.
Yeah,
Gyökeres is only being put in this conversation because either Berta or somebody else is throwing their weight around in the boardroom to go against Arteta. That's it.
Yeah.
Everybody who's talked, all the gals, all the Christians, all of them have even said they're going off compilation videos. Šeško sucks. Šeško's not even top 10 best Bundesliga strikers. I watch the Bundesliga. I watch La Liga. I especially watch the Serie A and the Premier League. There's at least 30 other strikers across the 4 or 5 top leagues that are better than Šeško.
I've watched Bundesliga games this past season or two. I've only watched a couple of years of Bundesliga action consecutively, and I already know that at least a quarter of the strikers in that league are better than Šeško. Not just stats, but eye test as well.
Yeah.
And who's to bet once they sweep Gyökeres under the carpet, put all their mind on Šeško and say, oh, Šeško's the only one I wanted, bet you 50 quid we see a Benjamin Tesco style comedy skit on AFTV or wherever in the next month or two, and they'll hype it up like the biggest signing of British transfer history, when it's literally amounts to the output of Torres at Chelsea.
Yeah,
it's the Arsenal way.
And for those
it's the Arsenal way.
Exactly. And for those who don't know me, I turned 25 years old tomorrow. I've watched ball. I never got to see the biggest players in Arsenal history. I never got to see the biggest players during the 99 treble, etc., and things like that. But I have watched footballers, and I've watched pure footballers. I watched Wayne Rooney all throughout his career, pretty much. I've watched Paul Scholes when he came back. I watched Ryan Giggs. I've watched multiple other players. I've watched Raul. You know, I watched the last years of Zinedine Zidane when he was still balling it out for France National. And I've watched big teams, and I've watched big teams win trophies. I watched Mourinho as a 5-year-old kid, a 4 or 5-year-old kid, whatever, running down that touchline as Porto manager, giving it the big gracia, calma, tranquilla, calma. I've watched big moments in football. And, you know, for any Top Gooners out there, typically Top Gooners that watch this, clip this up and try and question my ball knowledge, let me give you a little insight into what I do in my spare time. You can call it sad, you can call it
All right,
delusional.
don't worry. Just as long as there's no, you know what I mean? As long as it doesn't involve ball with a plural, we don't want to know.
No. None of that shit. None of that shit. I'll tell you what I do in my spare time.
Hey, I gotta hop off, guys. Aaron, I'll see you later on the call-in show.
We're gonna wrap up now anyway. Yeah. That's it. Yeah. Go on.
Big up, guys.
Big up,
Arteta
Johnny.
out. Top Gooners out.
I said
Big
it
up,
that.
Johnny.
Sweet. And
Have a good one, guys.
Finish your finger. Big up, Johnny. I'll catch you later. Big up your thing, and then we'll wrap.
Yeah, so in my spare time, I'll load up scouting websites, I will load up character profiles, I will load up transfer sites, and I will do my research. I'll do the research, not just stats, but I'll actually watch these guys in action, not just a few highlights here and there, but I will go back and I will watch full matches of these guys, learn where their position is, learn where certain people are. I think I ended up cancelling it at one point, but I did try and do an Arsenal recruitment plan for this summer. And already for the goalkeeper, I had Joe and Garcia as backup. And people say to me, well, why would I rather spend 25 million on Garcia when I can only spend 5 million on Kepa, who's Premier League proven? Difference is, if you think Kepa is such a good backup, Top Gooners, why did Bournemouth not want to re-sign him after his loan spell? First of all, answer me that. Secondly, why would I go and spend 20 million less on a less quality goalkeeper overall than Garcia, who, by the way, has just gone to Barcelona, a market opportunity right there for the Barca. So why would I not spend more money on quality, on actual quality that's worth it? Because I won't go and, you know, waste yonks of money on someone who's not worth the quality like Arsenal have done with the likes of 29, with the likes of Odegaard. I still think Odegaard's not the best version of himself, and I don't think he's been the best version of himself at Arsenal since he's been here. So, and I agree with Johnny, by the way. I would go to the 4-2-3-1, but is Arteta going to really change up his midfield? Absolutely not. If you want me to give you my proper midfield, I would give you Rice, Zubamendi, and then Nwaneri in the 10, and then Odegaard back up to Ethan. I'd do Odegaard back up to Ethan. And people are going to clip me and say he's deluded. No, I know Ethan Nwaneri, I know he's a baller. And Odegaard ain't the levels of Nwaneri, even at that age. Excuse me. Facts.
Right, he's not going to die on screen, don't worry. Do you know what I mean? He's all right. Yeah,
yeah, I'm good.
That's it. Have a sip of Stella, mate. Don't worry, you'll be all right. It put airs on ye old chest. That's it. What, yeah, that's it. Yeah, I'm not liable for you dying on screen, am I?
The actions of Arsenal Football Club kill me, and I'm not even an Arsenal fan. But man. Yeah, in all seriousness, though, like Rice, Zubi, and Nwaneri will be the best midfield three that can put out at this very moment. And if you do include all the people currently, Odegaard should be back up in the number 10 role, and Norgard will be a backup anyway. And then I honestly, I don't know what else you need to do. I don't know why they got rid of Partey. And some Top Gooners are actually sweeping that under. Yeah, you effed up. And, you know, some Top Gooners are going to sweep that under the carpet and say, oh, it was the right decision. He was getting too old. No, F your age. You need experience. You need proper experience, and Partey was that experience. And by the way, for any Top Gooners saying it's all right, Norgard can cover at right back, I've looked on Transfer Market, by the way. Not once for Brentford last season did he play at right back. So if you ever try and show
Arteta will do it. Arteta will do the mysterious things, bruv. Arteta will do so. Look, I do have to wrap up and spend a little bit of time with the missus, but we will be back with a panel to start off at 8:30. We're going to redirect to that. Smash a like on the stream. Just as a little reminder, we'll be there. And the link will be out after about an hour or so. You know, everyone knows how it works on the Friday. Do you know what I mean? We will have a panel. We'll talk about shit. I might even do a little bit of that intro again because I enjoyed it. I quite enjoyed that. So, you know, maybe we'll just do the same again because I enjoyed taking the piss. But listen, thank you very much for jumping on, bruv, and Stan as well. It's greatly appreciated all the time, and the link will be there for later on, my friend.
Yeah, no worries, man. My channel's on my name on StreamYard at
Yeah, where is it? Hold on. Where is it?
There we
go.
Yeah, so channel's there. I'll try and do as many videos as possible. Obviously, I'll try and do some more recruitment videos. I'll probably do an Arsenal one at some point. Excuse me, either in the summer or in January. So, but yeah, like I said, I'm not even an Arsenal fan, but I love talking. Yeah, big up Madupe.
She's our girl from NYC, man. A bit big up Madupe. Come on.
Big up America as well.
She's our girl from NYC.
Like I said, I'm not even an Arsenal fan, but I love coming on shows like this. I've been on the Gunner stream once before. I'd love to go back on there again. I always want to do stuff with Troops and Matt and Jez and DJB and big
troops,
up everyone.
You're punching my Troops, but you know what I mean. That'd be a tricky one. But listen, why not aim for the stars? And you know what? If you fall flat on your face, at least you tried, isn't it?
Exactly. Well, I've tried more than Arteta, that's for sure.
I ain't not going to argue that, brother. Listen, big up. I do have to wrap up. We will redirect to my other stream. We'll catch you later. Big up, everyone. And we'll do this all again in about 2 or 3 hours' time. Sweet.